Hello and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. My name's Hannah, and on this channel I post a lot of content about anti-MLM. If this is a topic that interests you, I always have a playlist linked here and down below. This is my big anti-MLM playlist. Every video I've ever created on that topic can be found there, and I add new ones to it every single week. And for today, we have another MLM top fails. These are compilation style videos in which viewers send me things from social media like Instagram posts, Reels, TikToks, live streams, Instagram stories, anything goes. And typically these are things posted by people in MLM companies. They typically have something kind of outrageous that they're proposing or some kind of stance that they're taking. And the purpose is to showcase those things here and then to discuss them, offer some commentary, and oftentimes debunk what they're saying. I do rely completely on viewers to send me the content for the MLM top fails videos. So if you have something you want me to take a look at and you would like to have considered, the instructions for how to send that my way are down below. And before we get into the video, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Scentbird. If you've been around for a while, you've heard me talk about Scentbird a lot. This is a product I've been loving and enjoying for almost a year now. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service that is reimagining the way that we shop for, discover, and experience new fragrances. With the subscription, you get to choose a new designer fragrance every month for just $17. They offer perfumes and colognes and unisex options, and the cool part is that you are in complete control of what you choose. There are no surprises, so once you make your selection, a 30-day supply of that fragrance gets shipped right to your door. My favorite way to use Scentbird recently is to build a collection of fragrances for a variety of different occasions. I'm at the point now where I have light and fresh scents that are great for everyday wear. I have tropical fruity scents that are perfect for vacation. I have deeper, more sophisticated scents that are great for date nights out, that kind of thing. And that's not a collection that I would have if it wasn't for Scentbird. Because you best believe I am not going to go out there and spend hundreds of dollars on full-size bottles of all of these fragrances to have on hand, but building that collection of fragrances for $17 a month with Scentbird, that is much more within my budget. This month I received all French fragrances, so please forgive my pronunciation. I got La Citane Neroli and Orchidée, House of Sillage Whispers of Truth, and Inicio Paragon. As you can see, there's a generous amount of fragrance here. This is a 30-day supply, and they come packaged in these handy magnetic cases with a locking feature that makes them great for travel. Of these three fragrances, I am particularly drawn to Paragon. This smells like you live a life of luxury. This smells expensive. I have never smelled anything like it, and that's because it is expensive. This is a $370 fragrance, you guys. So you're telling me that I can smell like I'm wearing a $370 fragrance, but it only cost me $17 with Scentbird? Done. Sign me up. If you would like to get started building your fragrance collection, you can click the link below and use my code HANNAH2 at checkout. This is going to give you 55% off your first month at Scentbird, making your first fragrance just over $7, available in the US and Canada. Thanks again, Scentbird, for sponsoring today's video. First up is an Instagram story posted by somebody in the MLM company le-vel. And this isn't really relevant to the video, but I want to say it because I was confused at the time. le-vel is the MLM company, but they sell a product range called Thrive. So if you hear about somebody involved in Thrive or le-vel, just know that they're one and the same. I regularly see people getting mixed up about that, and I did too at first, so I always make a point to say that whenever it comes up. But she's getting on her Instagram story to tell us about a new bonus program that le-vel is offering their promoters.
So we have a mortgage bonus coming that's going to be added to our comp plan. Mortgage bonus. Monthly mortgage bonus. We don't have the details yet, not all of them anyways, but at the leadership retreat this week, we had our two CEOs get up on stage and they were talking to all of us for about an hour and a half, just 150 of us, and they told us some really cool stuff, a lot of the inside scoop, but one of the things that they told us was that they're going to have a mortgage bonus added to our compensation plan this summer. And our auto bonus program is already so different than any other company out there, and it just really sets us apart. And the mortgage bonus is something I never heard of in the industry. No one's got a mortgage bonus. So if you're interested, I'm going to go into detail.
I am screaming internally at the idea of an MLM company offering a mortgage bonus program. You've likely heard of MLM car bonus programs before. This is like the Arbonne Mercedes, the Plexus Lexus, the Monat Cadillac. And pretty much all you need to know is that these are not free cars. These are not company paid cars. These companies do not just hand you a luxury vehicle as a reward. What you actually have to do is hit a certain rank and maintain a certain level of performance in the company, usually in the form of sales, and then you become eligible to participate in the car bonus program, in which you go to the dealership and you buy a car in your own name and you take out your own loan, and then you go back to the company and you say, here's a luxury car I bought. You sign a contract with that company, and then they give you a monthly check to go towards that luxury vehicle if and only if you maintain that rank and you maintain all of those quotas and you maintain your status. So in the case of le-vel, it says earn a monthly bonus towards a white or black BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Cadillac, Audi, Tesla, Land Rover, or other select SUV or truck models. So they are telling you what car you have to buy to participate and be eligible in this bonus program. It has to be one of these approved makes, models, and colors in order for you to get this money. Then it says you must have 4 personal, qualified, and active promoters, meaning you must have 4 recruits under you that are also upholding their quotas. You must have at least 800 PV, which is your personal lifetime volume. This means that you have either purchased or sold $800 worth of Thrive products. Then you must complete and upload the le-vel auto agreement, and then and only then are you going to get an $800 check every month from the company if you stay at the rank of 12K VIP or above. There is such thing as the auto elite bonus, which is $1,600 monthly. There's a whole nother set of much higher demands for that one that I'm not going to get into right here, but these are the basic terms of the auto bonus program. First, you have to hit a certain rank, then you have to go and buy your own car, but it has to be one of the cars on the list. Then you go tell the company that you bought the car, and then you get the check. And this is specifying that you have to be of the rank of 12K VIP promoter or above. And here's what that means for you. If you want to hit and maintain this rank, this means that you're going to have 100 PV every month. This is $100 worth of purchases or sales. You have to have at least 2 active legs under you, aka 2 active recruits. And then your team as a whole has a $12,000 sales or purchase requirement every single month. It is worth me including here that they say that you have to complete and upload the le-vel auto agreement. I could not find this agreement anywhere on the internet or anywhere on their website. I'm expecting this to be like a contract that lists out the terms and conditions and everything and confirms what I just told you about how this whole thing works. They do not make that agreement available to the public. And I even emailed the customer service department asking if they could send me a copy of that agreement so that I could look over it for this video. But at the time of filming, they still haven't gotten back to me. But I have read the contracts for Monat, for Plexus, for Arbonne. All of them say the same thing. They all work the same way. And just in the interest of full transparency, I haven't actually put my eyes on the le-vel contract, and I am assuming that the language laid out in that contract is the same as every other car bonus program from every other MLM company. And that is that you have to hit and maintain this rank or above month after month after month, and only then is the company going to give you a check to go towards your own car that you bought yourself. Like I said, the company did not provide you with this car. They did not gift it to you. Their part in this whole agreement is that they're agreeing to give you a bonus check if you continue to perform at the same level. And if you don't, if you drop in the ranks, then you're not eligible for this bonus anymore, and you are left high and dry on the hook for that car payment. This, in my opinion, is one of the worst financial situations you can put yourself into if you join an MLM company. You should never be reliant on your MLM income for basically anything, honestly, because your income is never guaranteed and it can fluctuate severely based on the performance of people below you and if they're pulling their weight or not, and if they decide to quit or not. So going out and purchasing a luxury vehicle that you might not be able to afford because you think that your MLM is going to help you pay for it is a really financially precarious situation to be putting yourself in, because you are now at the mercy of your team's sales volume to help you afford your car. Terrifying. Please avoid these bonus programs at all costs. And I give you all that context about car bonus programs because what she's talking about here is that that le-vel is going to be introducing a mortgage bonus program this summer. I can't find any information about this mortgage bonus program yet. Even she said, she's like, we don't have all the details. Nothing about this is posted on their website at this time, but I'm sickened by the implications of this. If it looks anything like their auto bonus program, this is scary. Imagine people start relying on their le-vel business opportunity and relying on their rank and relying on their team sales volume every month to be able to afford the place they live. Ideally, in a perfect world, people wouldn't be reliant on these bonuses and they really would act as a bonus, as an extra, like a happy surprise. Oh, sweet, I have this extra money to go towards these expenses this month kind of thing. We would hope that in an ideal world, people would not be fully reliant on these bonuses, but we don't live in an ideal world. And people in MLMs really run the risk of living beyond their means and driving cars they can't afford and living in houses they can't afford because they're under the impression that their MLM is going to help them pay for it. In my opinion, a company now offering a mortgage bonus program in the same way they offer auto bonus programs is a terrifying thing. This is not a positive.
So we don't know exact details just yet. All we know is that it's getting launched this summer, and we know that the number that Paul said of how much he thinks it's going to be, and I'll tell you right now, it's $2,000 more than I assumed it was going to be. So, how much is your mortgage? Okay, vote here. We'll see what the average is, and I'll tell you it's going to cover it, like based off of what he said. And if it is exactly or similarly structured to how our auto bonus is structured, then this is kind of how I assume it's going to work. So our car bonus, you have to be at the second rank, $12,000 a month in sales. So all of our ranks are volume based. The second one, you got to be at $12K, and you earn that auto bonus every single month just for maintaining that rank, right? So we get paid every Tuesday, but on the second Tuesday of every month, our auto bonus is attached to that commission check. So it's not in place of, like, you still get paid your commission, you just also get your auto bonus. And your auto bonus, you get two options. So you can do the option for a non-luxury vehicle. So that can be a Toyota Camry, that can be my 4Runner, that can be, I don't know, a 1993 Toyota Corolla, like it can be a bicycle, it can be, if you don't even have a car, you get that, okay?
What she's saying here is partially true. If you don't want to get that $800 to go towards a luxury vehicle, if you'd rather just not deal with that whole going and buying a new car situation at all, then you can opt out of it and get a $300 cash bonus instead. But it's just a cash bonus. It doesn't have to necessarily go towards your non-luxury car. And I think that's what she's trying to explain here, is that you can opt out of the $800 bonus and just take the $300 cash instead. And that would be the smarter way to go, in my opinion. Take that $300 cash bonus with no strings attached to it, and ideally don't be reliant on that money, right? At least in that case, you didn't have to go buy a luxury car that you wouldn't have otherwise bought to get the $800 bonus. In this case, it's significantly less money, but at least you wouldn't make yourself reliant upon that, hopefully. But unfortunately, in the MLM culture, people like to be flashy and drive an expensive car and be able to claim that their company is paying for it. So that $800 luxury car bonus is more enticing, and I could see how people would rather go that route as opposed to taking just the $300 cash bonus. It's not as impressive. It's not as large of a bragging right, if you get what I mean.
And then there is another option that is more money, and it is for a luxury vehicle. And the luxury vehicle, we have like 15 options. It's got to be black or white, 5 years or newer, and there's a list of everything from trucks to like the Jeep Gladiator to like Lexus, Cadillac, Mercedes, all the things, right? So that is how it's structured. And I'm assuming that the mortgage bonus is going to be something that you get every month for being at a certain rank. And I'm just so excited about this because the auto bonus is already so sought after, because with sales, commission checks are going to ebb and flow. They're going to be high, they're going to be low, they're never going to be the same, right? And the car bonus is something that every single month you're getting X amount on the second Tuesday, which gives you a sense of like safety and security and predictability, right?
No, actually, it does not give you a sense of safety and security and predictability because you just said that sales can ebb and flow from month to month. But you need to hit a certain sales requirement every month in order to get the car bonus, in order to get the mortgage bonus. So if your sales are ebbing and flowing and they're not consistent, that means that you don't have safety, you don't have security, you don't know that you are for sure going to qualify for your car bonus that month. It feels like participating in these MLM bonus programs is like the opposite of safety and security and predictability. You are on thin ice waiting on pins and needles every single month to see if you're going to hit the requirements necessary to be able to pay for your car and home. The fact that she's trying to make it out to be that this is the way to have a stable paycheck is laughable.
And a lot of people don't quit their jobs and do this full time until they're 12K because of that. And just having the mortgage bonus being so much more, and having this company cover your family's two highest bills, your car and your house, having them cover that every single month, you get 4 to 5 other paychecks on top of that every month. Like, this is just going to send so many people home full time. This is going to create so many full-time families and so much safety and security and financial just stress lifted.
I'm sorry, but that is pure delusion. For the love of whatever you believe in, do not quit your job to do le-vel full time and make yourself reliant on both the car and mortgage bonus programs, unless you want to set yourself up for complete financial ruin. Because what happens when your downline members quit? What happens when you have a big event in your life that takes priority and it requires more of your attention and you're not focusing so much on hitting your sales quota that month, and then you don't hit it and you don't get your bonuses? What happens if your company gets shut down for being a pyramid scheme one day? What happens if the company decides that they want to move to the retail model and they're shutting down their MLM business opportunity completely? What happens if you fall in the ranks? Like, these are all very real and serious circumstances that can happen at a moment's notice, and the entire thing can crumble. God forbid that you've quit your job and you're now reliant on le-vel to help you afford your house and car. Oh my gosh, it's just sick. It makes me sick to my stomach to think that people would do that and put themselves in that position. And it makes me sick to see her on her Instagram story saying that this is a great way to bring families full time with le-vel. Like, oh, it doesn't make logical sense. This is so delusional. Personally, I think that there's one main reason that MLM companies offer these kinds of bonuses, and it's so the reps are more indebted to the company. If they've got reps that have thrown their entire livelihood into this business opportunity and they're so tied up financially that they can't escape, that's really good for the company. They have successfully entrapped their promoters in such a way that those people are screwed if they quit. So instead, they stay because they feel like they don't have any other choice. They continue to sink deeper and deeper into the company, and they feel as if they're in too deep that they can't leave. Remember that the only way MLM companies survive is if people join the business opportunity and then they don't quit, or if they're quitting at a slower rate than people are joining. And I personally feel like bonus programs like these are an extra step that the company is taking to make sure that their own reps don't quit on them. It is sick. Up next is a video from a Monat rep.
I shared earlier some fun and exciting things that are happening within Monat for the month of February, and I'm just going to say this. When I first made the decision to start my business with Monat, I was in a place in my life where I needed a very big change. I did not want to be behind the chair working as a hairstylist anymore. I was 36 weeks pregnant. I was about to have my daughter. I knew that if I was still working as a hairstylist, I was not going to be able to stay home with her, and I just wasn't okay with that. I wanted to be home with my daughter. I was stressing hardcore about going back to work and how was I going to do it, right? And so I was in a place where I'm like, I need to make this work. And so when I started my business, I jumped in full force. I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to work really freaking hard. And I did. I worked really hard, showing up every single day, doing stuff that I was really uncomfortable doing, like this, getting on social media and talking to the camera, filming myself getting ready, getting on camera without makeup, showing my hair without extensions. When I started, I had horrible hair, I had horrible skin, and I just didn't feel confident. But I knew that I wanted to be home with my kids, and I needed to do this stuff that I was uncomfortable with in order to make that happen. And I think that a lot of people start their businesses with Monat thinking that it's going to be super easy. You guys, I'll be real honest with you. This is not an easy business. Is it simple? Yes, it's a very simple business, but it's not easy. It takes a lot of drive, a lot of self-motivation, a lot of consistency, a lot of lows that you're going to have to push through in order to get to the high point. But if you are willing to get through those hard moments, this business can be everything that you ever dreamt of, okay? I feel like a lot of people just give up way too soon. They give up way too soon. And I'll be honest with you about something. I have had tons of people reach out to me about this business. And a lot of people pull the trigger and they'll do it. But they're lazy. And some people may get pissed off about this. That's the truth. They're lazy and they don't have a big enough why as to why they are doing this business. If you have a really big reason as to why you're doing this, that alone will drive you. You don't need me to motivate you. You don't need anyone else to motivate you. That why is going to motivate you. Just like being home with my kids motivated the heck out of me and pushed me to do everything that was uncomfortable and everything that I so much so did not want to do. I did it anyways because my why was so big. It was so important that I had to do it.
What we're seeing here appears to be the perpetuation of toxic hustle culture. It's the idea that you need to be the most hardworking, motivated person in the room, and that with enough time, energy, effort, and work, everything's gonna pay off and good things will come to you. In my opinion, this is toxic because it feels like a one-way ticket to dissatisfaction and burnout. Humans are not designed to be working 24/7, and it doesn't feel healthy to be placing this astronomical amount of pressure on ourselves to be grinding constantly towards our goals, and that resting is seen as a weakness. There's absolutely value in setting goals for yourself and for working hard towards them, but there's also value in rest. And I feel like resting and working, they have to go hand in hand in order for you to be able to perform at your highest level. And this probably is not the best analogy, but I always think of it as training for a marathon. If running a marathon is your end goal, you don't need to be running a full-blown marathon every day of the week in order to effectively train for it. You will never find a marathon training plan out there that suggests that you need to be running 26 miles a day every single day, no days off up until the race. Your body would never be able to take that kind of impact. It's not sustainable. You would likely injure yourself, and that's going to be harmful for you overall in the long term. Instead, marathon training plans suggest that some days you have shorter runs and some days you have longer runs and some days you take completely off to just rest. And I feel like this analogy can apply to a lot of other things in our lives too, that it's great to have goals. It's great to have things you're striving towards, but that progress is not linear and it's going to fluctuate on a day-to-day basis. However, it feels like in MLM culture, rest is not valued in the same way. And instead, the expectation is that you constantly have to be proving yourself that you are working hard and that you do want it bad enough, or else you're going to be deemed as lazy, as she said. Toxic hustle culture is so prevalent in MLM culture, which is kind of ironic because in many cases, your success in your MLM company has very little to do with how hard you work or how long you remain in the company. She's insinuating that if you don't find success in Monat, that it must be because you didn't work hard enough, or it must be because you're lazy and you just don't want it bad enough and you're giving up and quitting, and that your why isn't big enough. But that's not really the case because your success isn't really up to you. It's up to the people who decide to buy your product or sign up to be in your downline. You can work your butt off 24/7. You can have the biggest why in the world. You can be in a company for years on end, but ultimately those things don't promise that you're going to rise in the ranks of your company. They don't promise that you're going to make bigger paychecks over time. But those are the lies that people in her position who are close to the top of the pyramid, those are the lies they'll tell you. That's their way of justifying why they are at the top and why you are at the bottom still. Oh, you just haven't been working hard enough. enough. Oh, you haven't been in the company long enough. Oh, you must not want it bad enough. These are all ways of blaming you for why you are stuck at the bottom, not making any money, rather than placing the blame on the business model that is actively working against you. MLM compensation plans are not designed for everybody to make money. They're not designed for everyone to be able to make it to the top. In fact, they are designed in such a way that most of the people must be at the bottom in order for the whole scheme to function properly. 93% of people in Monat sit at the bottom rank, not because they're lazy, not because they don't work hard, and not because they don't want to rank up higher, but because that is how the compensation plan is designed. The business structure must be bottom heavy in order for people like her at the top to be making good money at your expense.
How it works is when you become a market partner with someone, like you quote unquote join someone's team. So if you were to reach out to me or someone were to reach out to me and say, hey, I want to start my business, I want to do this with you. The only thing that I am gaining from someone enrolling as a market partner is something like $50 to $100. I'm not saying that that's not like great. That's like grocery money, but that's not why I'm doing this. I could care less about $50 to $100, to be real frank, to be real honest with you.
Wrong. Completely wrong. She just lied to your face. According to the Monat compensation plan, if she does recruit you, she will get a check for somewhere between $50 and $230, depending on which product pack you buy when you join. The more money you spend on your product pack, the more money she's going to make. So I think that's what she's referring to here. She's like, I make like $50 to $100 if I recruit you. And it is true that the product pack bonus is a one-time check for her. But what she's conveniently leaving out is that now that you're in her downline, she's going to be making a commission off of all of your sales as well. She's going to be making somewhere between 3 and 12% off of all of your sales, depending on what rank she is at and where you fall in her downline, how many levels deep you are. And you can see here that the higher up in the company a person is, the more money they're able to make off of their downline sales. The higher those percentages get, the deeper the levels they're able to get paid out on. And that's essentially why people at the top of MLMs make the most money, because they have the largest number of people on their team. They have the most people to make money off of, basically. So I really can't stand that she's trying to frame it like, if you join my team, I'm just going to make a small one-time check, $50, $100. Great, that's grocery money. But that's not why I'm here. I'm not in this for the money. Come on, please. We all know that you wouldn't be on your Instagram at all hours of the day trying to convince people to join your team if there wasn't something in it for you. If there wasn't an incentive to getting them to join so you can bulk up your downline and continue making money off of them in the form of commissions. Presenting the business opportunity to you is not something she's doing out of the goodness of her heart, and it just infuriates me that she's trying to frame it that way.
I'm doing this because I want to help other people change their lives. Other people get out of the circumstances that they're currently in. Other people help reach their goals in life, okay? And you are only going to reach your goals in life and change your circumstances if you are willing to be coachable, to work hard, and to not give up. Those are the 3 things that you need. And those are the type of people that I want to link arms with, that I want to partner with, that I want to help to do something like this. So if you are someone that is willing to work hard, that's willing to sacrifice, that's willing to take direction, meaning you're able to be coached by someone, I want to do this with you. You're the person that I want to do this with, okay? I'm talking to you right now and telling you this is the time you want to start your business, okay? It's not because of the free blowout brush or, you know, the extra bonuses that we have right now or the trips. It's bigger than that. It is so much bigger than that. And yes, those incentives are amazing, but from being with the company now for almost 3 years, I truly understand how big this can be. And I promise you, this is like just the very beginning. Monat is just getting started. We still have so many countries to launch in. They're constantly coming out with new products and new ways for us to just succeed with the company. This is something that you want to be a part of and that I want to do with you.
Infuriating, right? It's just so ridiculous to watch. But let's look closer at her status within the company. I want to give you some perspective as to the place that she is speaking from, okay? She's at the rank of managing market mentor. This is the top 0.1% of the company with a median annual income of $88,000 a year. She's up there, okay? She is darn near close to the top of the top, as high as you can get. Now, let's see what the requirements are to hit that rank and to maintain it every single month. If she wants to keep this rank, she needs to either sell or purchase $500 of product every month. She needs to have at least 4 direct recruits underneath her, one of which has to be at the rank of MMB or above, and 2 of which have to be at the rank of AMM or above. So she's relying upon certain people underneath her to hit and maintain their ranks as well if she's going to be able to keep hers. And her entire downline needs to sell or purchase at least $60,000 of product every single month. To me, this looks incredibly difficult to maintain. Those are some steep quotas right there. She's quite literally relying on other people to hit and maintain their ranks, but also to contribute to this team quota of $60,000 in sales or purchases every single month. And the thing you need to know here is that she could not be at this rank without the people in her downline. That is the main takeaway. It's a requirement that she has 4 direct recruits underneath her, but just mathematically, if we're only thinking about her and those 4 recruits, it's not realistic that those 5 people alone can sell or purchase $60,000 in a month. So now it starts to make more sense, like the more people you have on the team, the better, because now the more people you have to contribute to this team goal every single month so that you can keep your rank. That's why it's important to keep recruiting, because people are over here falling off and quitting at a certain rate. So it's important that you're bringing in new people at least the same rate, if not higher. That's why recruitment is so essential. It's so necessary to the functioning of the pyramid. And that's why people at the top are so concerned about recruiting more and more and more people, and they can never rest on that point. So now this whole Instagram story makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? Now we know why she's saying that she needs people who are going to work hard and who aren't going to quit, because she needs those kinds of people if she's going to keep her rank. Now we know why she's calling people who quit lazy. Now we know why she's engaging in toxic hustle culture. Now we know why she's always on her Instagram story trying to convince people to join, because she can't rest. She needs to keep working. She needs to keep recruiting people in order to stay at the top of the compensation plan. And this goes to prove my earlier point where I said that the business structure must be bottom heavy in order for those few people at the top to be making good money. And the fact that she's trying to say that she's not in this for the money is completely comical, because if it wasn't about money, she would not have created this Instagram story to try and recruit more and more people. Next up is a TikTok from a Monat rep with yet another silly little science experiment or demonstration to try and prove that Monat products are superior to non-MLM products. She's replying to a comment she got that says there's nothing wrong with the Olaplex oil. So what she's doing is she's taking the Olaplex oil and putting it on a Q-tip. She also has Moroccan oil that's on the second Q-tip. And then finally she's taking the Monat Rejuvenique oil and putting it on the third Q-tip. Then she brings out a lighter and she's gonna light all 3 of them on fire to show that the one with the Rejuvenique oil does not catch on fire. Here's my question. Why? What does this prove? What is the point of this? I'm getting fed up at this point. If you watch a lot of my MLM Top Fails videos, we have seen so many Monat experiments happening, specifically including fire. And I don't know what is going on. I don't know where they come up with these things or what they're trying to prove. But what I feel like is that this is meant to fearmonger that other oils are bad because the Q-tips light on fire. But why is that a bad thing? Really think about it. Why is that a bad thing? Are you planning to light your hair on fire? Are you planning on using the oil on your hair and then holding up a lighter to see what happens? Spoiler, if you're gonna stand next to an open flame, your hair is at risk of catching on fire because your hair itself is flammable, even if there's no product in it. Which is why we use common sense and we don't put our heads next to open flames. So now that we've got that out of the way, what is the point of this TikTok, ma'am? To me, it just feels like Monat reps grasp at every straw they can to somehow prove that their products are superior. After all, their goal is to sell you on it, right? So they need to somehow be able to convince you that their $100 Rejuvenique oil is the superior choice as compared to Olaplex oil, which is $30 for the same amount, or Moroccan Moroccan oil, which is $48 for 3 times as much product as Monat. Which, side note, Moroccan oil, fantastic. I've been using it since December of 2015 and I will never not use it. I've had 4 different hairstylists in 3 different states. I move around a lot. My husband's in the military, and they have all made a point of asking me at the first appointment, what do you use on your hair? It feels amazing. Moroccan oil, always Moroccan oil. I cannot recommend it enough. Just put like a dime-sized amount in your hand, run it through wet hair after you wash it. It's pure magic. I'll put the Amazon affiliate link below if you're interested. But in saying that, I've been using Moroccan oil religiously for over 6 years now, and never once has my head caught on fire. We should not care that these first 2 oils catch on fire and Monat doesn't. It is not relevant. This is not a threat that people encounter in their everyday lives. And just because something is flammable doesn't mean that it's inherently bad either. Your hair is flammable. Flour is flammable. Hand sanitizer is flammable. The lint in your dryer right now is flammable. But you don't see people making TikToks going around and holding up lighters to all of these things to prove that they catch on fire. We know they catch on fire. What reason would there be to do that? That would be ridiculous. And it's just as ridiculous to see Monat reps doing that with their products too. These Monat demonstrations are getting out of hand. We've seen them lighting hair oil on fire. We've seen them spraying dry shampoo into an open flame. We've seen them spreading heat protectant on bread and then putting it in a toaster. And then when the bread doesn't get toasted, they choose to conclude that it must be because they have the best heat protectant in the world, not because they just soaked a piece of bread in liquid. Therefore, now it's all soggy and it's not going to get crispy in a toaster. It's just getting out of hand at this point. When are these going to stop? When is this going to end? When am I going to stop having to explain to people how this is ridiculous? What they're trying to do is demonize and fearmonger competing products so that you trust theirs more and you think that theirs is superior. But if you just apply a little bit of critical thinking to it, the whole argument falls apart and this proves nothing. Up next is an Optavia rep trying to promote that her program is the most cost-effective way to feed yourself these days as the price of groceries is on the rise.
I just want to share one more thought before I start doing some cooking, and for now I'll just share in my stories and maybe make a reel or 2. But I just spent a lot of money at the supermarket today, and I've been seeing in a lot of my large family groups on Facebook people talking about the cost of eggs. Oh my. What used to be a super cheap, easy dinner where I could always tell a kid, here, if you don't want this for dinner, go make an egg, get some protein in you, is not so affordable anymore. And in addition to that, just all the groceries, especially if you are focusing on eating healthy, either organic or more plant-based, more protein, vegetables, it's expensive. I remember back 5 years ago, before I started my program, I was working to get healthy on my own. I tried a lot of different things. Whole30, oh my gosh, it was so much work. I stopped after 2 days. I did Atkins, South Beach, Weight Watchers, all the things. And I was spending so much money on protein and vegetables. And that was already 5 years ago, before this crazy influx in pricing. I was spending so much on the healthy things for me, and I was prepping so much of it, and it was taking time and taking effort, and the expenses were through the roof. And that was, again, 5 years ago. Here's the thing. When I started my program, I actually started saving money, learning how to eat right, and eating healthier food at a fraction of the cost. Even though I was doing it and I was still feeding the rest of my family, I was saving tons of money by not. So here's the thing. If you've been watching me thinking about doing my program or thinking about what your goals and health goals are going to be in 2023, I have incredible savings. I actually have major steep discounts for clients that want to sign up in the next 4 weeks. So this is the time. If you are looking to save some money on your grocery bill and lose weight at the same time, let me know. I got you covered. I'm going to set you up with the program, give you tons of recipes and meal inspiration that is going to be budget friendly as well as health friendly, and you are going to achieve your goals. My clients are losing on average 10 pounds a month, which is amazing. Think of where you could be by the summer. So if you've been watching and thinking about this, now is the time to reach out because I just have these amazing discounts that are going to save you tons of money.
Just the idea that buying MLM products is supposed to save you money kind of makes me laugh. It is so contradictory. MLMs and cost efficiency, they just don't go together. Okay, MLM products usually are so overpriced. They have a huge markup. They are not typically affordable for people. So it's interesting that that is the angle she's trying to take here. Optavia is supposed to be a weight loss program, which is something we'll talk about in a second, but it's funny that she's not focusing so much on those health claims, like you're going to lose a lot of weight doing this. She's focusing more on how this can help you save money in this really difficult economic time that we're going through, and the fact that groceries, normal groceries, are far more expensive than they've been, and families are really struggling right now because of that. She's leaning into that vulnerability, and she's playing into the fact that that's really relevant and that's a pain point for a lot of people right now. And that's the angle she's choosing to take to pitch her MLM products, which is very fascinating. But here's what Optavia sells. I'll throw a picture on the screen right here. What you see here is prepackaged processed powders and snack foods. Very expensive processed and prepackaged foods, mind you. I have 2 videos on my channel already all about this company. One of them is a typical deep dive video where we talk about the products and the business opportunity and how much people make and things. And the second one is where I'm actually taste testing Optavia foods. Somebody quit the company and sent me their stash. One of my favorite videos I've ever done. Highly recommend that if you want to check it out. So I'm not going to spend too much time here getting into the nitty-gritty of this company. If you want to see those videos, I'll link them below. Pretty much what you need to know is that Optavia is marketed as a weight loss plan, and it's designed so that you eat a certain number of fuelings every day. They're not called snacks, they're not called meals, they're called fuelings. One package of Optavia powder equals 1 fueling. They're usually right around 100 calories each, and you're instructed to eat between 3 and 5 of them depending on what program you're on. It seems like pretty much every box of fuelings costs $23.25 for 7 servings, so that comes out to $3.32 per fueling. Now, if you're on a plan that requires you to eat 5 fuelings a day, that's nearly $17 that you're going to be spending to eat this stuff. In other words, you're going to be spending right around $17 to be consuming about 500 calories worth of these processed fuelings. If you're doing the Optavia plan that requires 3 fuelings a day, that's still almost $10 a day spent on Optavia. $10 a day to consume roughly 300 calories of processed foods. The Optavia fuelings are not only disgusting, and I can say that because I've tried them, but they're also tiny portion sizes with incredibly low nutritional values. They are not going to satiate you very well. They're not going to hold you over. You are pouring so much money into these things that are not going to nutritionally satisfy you. It kind of feels like you're going to be paying twice as much money to get like half the nutritional value, half the volume of food, basically. Not an exact science, but that's kind of how I think about it. You're paying so much more money for so much less product. And let's also think about it this way. This woman has 6 children, okay? She's in a family of 8 people. If we assume that she is the only person in her family participating in the Optavia program, and she's the only person consuming these fuelings, that's still somewhere between $10 to $17 a day for her, depending on what program she's on. That comes out to be like $300 to $500 a month. But that's just the cost of the fuelings, okay? The Optavia plans also advise that you eat a certain number of lean and green meals per day, meaning vegetables and protein. So you're going to be needing to pay for those things too, in addition to your fuelings. And then you've also got a partner and 6 children to feed. So what this breaks down to is that she's promoting a program in which you're going to spend somewhere between $300 to $500 a month, and that's only going to cover part of one person's food consumption in the family. She's not saying feed your family for $300 to $500 a month with Optavia. No, she's saying feed yourself partially for $300 to $500 a month. This is not a good deal. This is not a good way to save money. Look, I get it. Groceries, very expensive right now. Quite painful. I think that we're all feeling the weight of that a little bit. But the fact that she's promoting Optavia as a way to cut back on your grocery bill is laughable. It's so unreasonable. Even with the crazy prices of groceries right now, you would still likely be spending less to feed yourself through a grocery store than you would if you paid for the Optavia programs. And like I said at the beginning, I really think that she's just trying to play into this really relevant vulnerability right now. Maybe not everybody is looking to lose weight, but a lot of people are looking to save money on their grocery bill. So that's the angle she's taking in an attempt to make some money off of you. Take it from me, as someone who actually has tasted these things, you do not want to be wasting your money on them, okay? I get it. Money is tight. Groceries are expensive, but you would still be better off feeding yourself and your family through a grocery store than you would if you bought into this gimmicky MLM weight loss program as a way to try and save money. It doesn't work like that, but that's how she's trying to promote it, because she's trying to capitalize off the fact that you're struggling to afford groceries right now. And finally, for this video, I want to leave us off on a lighthearted, funny note. I've been trying to do this more regularly with the top fails videos because we can get kind of heated. We see a lot of ridiculousness. So it's nice to end with something a little bit more light. And this was really funny to see pop up in my Google Drive because it's actually a picture of me. And what this picture is showing is that somebody was watching my video when they got a text message that says, "Are you in need of any Mary Kay products?" And the person who sent it to me gave me this context. She said, "When you're watching your favorite anti-MLM advocate and you get hit up by a hun to order product, because it's the end of the month, of course. I'm sure you'll make the appropriate edits, but if you could, please protect my name and hers." She really is a very sweet woman who's been in the business for as long as I've known her, 15 plus years, and is still working for the same rank advancement. My heart aches for her, but it's the sunk cost fallacy. Hope this one made you smile. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. It does make me smile. And this is why anti-MLM awareness is so important, because in this moment that you got this text, you were able to see the irony in it. Like, how funny is that I'm watching a video over here learning about how MLMs are dangerous and learning about this rat race of achieving ranks and maintaining ranks and quotas, and it's the end of the month and hopefully we can hit our sales goal and things. And that's the moment that you get a text that comes through that says, "Hey, would you like to buy any of my MLM product this month?" Oh my goodness. Like, it's really funny on one hand, but it's also really sad on the other. The timing of this is really funny, but it's ultimately really upsetting to see that there is somebody who's been in Mary Kay for 15 plus years and is still spending their time sending out text messages, asking people if they want to buy something. That's just gotta be exhausting. That sounds like a really dreadful way to have to make your monthly income. But I appreciate you sending it because it did make me smile, and I just kind of face palmed and rolled my eyes like, here we go again. Yet another person slaving away for their MLM and basically begging for sales. It's sad to see, but it also lights a fire underneath me that hopefully my videos are helpful in spreading the word and increasing awareness around this business model so that people don't get stuck in this position. So thank you for sharing it with me. And with that, my friends, that's all I have for you for this MLM Top Fails video. Once again, if you come across something on social media that you think would be a good fit, please send it my way. I would love to check it out. And thank you again to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you check out the link below and use the code HANNAH2 for 55% off your first month. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next one real soon.